Hello, welcome you all once again to this online session. Today we'll be starting with a new chapter, that is chapter number 4, heat. This will be taught in two sessions. In today's session, first you will have a small introduction about the topic heat, and then you will learn how do we identify these hot and cold objects and the definition for temperature and how to measure the temperature, what are the devices used for measuring temperature, about different thermometers, mainly about laboratory thermometer, the ways to handle it, how to read a thermometer. These things we'll be learning, covering up in today's session. See, what was the previous lesson? That is your fiber to fabric. What did you learn in that lesson? About animal fibers, mainly wool and silk. Okay, how do we obtain the fabric from that wool and silk? All those things you had learned. So, the temperature is a factor that decides the kind of material that we are going to wear, whether we are going to wear clothes made of cotton or of wool and all. So if it is too hot in summer season, we normally go for cotton clothes to protect us from heat. We go for light colored clothes also. If it is winter, we prefer wearing woolen clothes to protect us from the cold climatic conditions, so that you retain the heat within yourself, to keep yourselves warm, you can say. Okay, so the climatic conditions is determined by the temperature prevailing in that particular area. Okay, so there are several ways to identify this temperature. Okay, so the first I'll give you a list of objects. From these you have to identify the ones that are hot and the ones that are cold. First, fruit juice, then you have coffee, spoon in a hot teacup, mug filled with hot coffee, handle of a hot frying pan, ice cubes, ice cream. So as I told you these words, you can easily imagine, get in your mind what would be the temperature of the object, or you can imagine whether the object is going to be hot or cold. So this hot or cold is decided by the temperature, right? Now, when I tell you ice cubes and ice cream, you obviously know they are going to be cold. Handle of a hot frying pan. Handles of a hot frying pan, they are made up of insulating material which are poor conductors of heat. So you won't feel that heat there. Mug filled with hot coffee, from the steam coming out or when you touch the surface, you will easily make out that it is hot. Spoon in a hot teacup, obviously, if it is a stainless steel spoon, by touching it, it will be, you can find out the temperature, means whether the nature, whether it is hot or cold. Fruit juice, obviously we prefer having it cold. So by touching and by looking at the object, at times when the steam comes out or when the outer surface of the vessel has some water droplets, you can easily tell whether the object is hot or cold. But normally the hotness or coldness of an object is decided by the temperature. Okay, so in your book you have this activity, 3 troughs, A, B and C. In trough A you have hot water, in trough B you have cold water, in trough C you have a combination of hot as well as cold water. By putting your hand inside these inside the trough A, B and C, you have to tell whether the object is hot or cold. So when you put your hand inside the trough A, obviously you'll feel the heat and you'll say the water is hot there. And B also, by putting your hand, you can say it is cold. When you come to C portion, it's a combination of both hot and cold. So hot, it is very difficult to touch. Cold also, immediately you'll feel like withdrawing your hands. Here, so you cannot use any other term. So you will be confused what to say about the water kept inside the trough C. You cannot say combination of hot and cold water. So there is one more thing that we use to tell the hotness or coldness of an object. That is what is called as the temperature. So we can, by measuring the temperature of the object, we can decide whether the object is hot or cold. So the degree of hotness or coldness of an object is measured by using a term called temperature. So how do we define this temperature? It's a reliable measure of hotness of an object. Okay, so a reliable measure of hotness of an object is called temperature. When it is in minus, we say it is cold. When it is plus, we say the temperature is increasing there. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. When you go to laboratories and all, no, the object's temperature will be measured by using a thermometer. Even when you have fever, what temperature you have, by touching your body you can say you're hot. At times fever will be there but you won't feel it. But thermometer is a device which tells you whether your temperature has increased in your body or not. That is the accurate measuring. That's the accurate thing that tells the object is whether the object is hot or cold. Okay, so there are different kinds of thermometer, but we'll be learning about clinical and laboratory thermometer here. Clinical thermometers, see, I've given an image here. This you must have seen whenever you visit a doctor's clinic. So this end portion here, which has got a metal kind of thing, no, that silver color thing, that is what is called as the bulb of the thermometer, and it is made of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube, and inside that it has a capillary tube which is filled with mercury. Okay, and then it has got a scale on which the readings are written, and that tube inside that is filled with mercury. Okay, and there is a kink before that bulb where that mercury stops. It will not allow the mercury to fall into the bulb. Okay, so a clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Actually, there is a kink where the mercury stops, and that kink will not allow the mercury to fall into the bulb. A small shining thread of mercury can be seen. You will also find a scale on the thermometer. The scale we use is Celsius scale, indicated by degree C. A clinical thermometer reads from 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. So the mercury level should be below 35 degrees C. So the increase in the level of mercury tells you the temperature. Okay, this we will learn in detail. This is the structure of a clinical thermometer. It consists of a narrow, long, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end, and inside that you have a small capillary tube which is filled with mercury. The mercury level stops at the kink. The kink will stop the mercury from falling into the bulb. So the mercury level should be maintained below 35 degrees C. So when the mercury level raises, that means it's studying the temperature of the body, right? And a scale is there which tells you the temperature of the human body there, and the scale reads from 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. See, how do we read this thermometer, clinical thermometer? See, I've got readings there. It is written there. I'll make it a little big. Hope it's clear now. Yeah, 35, 36, 37. Between those two bigger measurements, you see small divisions. This you must have seen in your normal, not this way I'm telling you, the school, this ruler that you get to school. No, it has got, its measurements are written there in centimeters, millimeters, 1, 2, 3. Between 1 and 2, you will have small divisions that you will calculate as 0.1, 0.2 and all. Right, like that. If the small lines in between those two bigger readings tells you the number of divisions between those two readings. Okay, note the temperature difference indicated between the two bigger marks. Note down the number of divisions shown by smaller marks between these marks. Suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree and there are 5 divisions between them. Between two bigger marks, if you have 5 divisions, means if the means in between that, and then everything should be read as 0.2 degrees Celsius, right? Like how you calculate in your scale. So the bulb you can see, no, at the end of the thermometer, that is what is called as bulb. Inside you can see the mercury level there, and the mercury level should be kept below 35 degrees. See, there is a kink there. The kink will not allow the mercury to fall into the bulb. Okay, this is the structure of a thermometer. It consists of a long, narrow glass tube with a bulb at its one end. It has got a scale with readings on it. And how do you read the thermometer? You have to calculate the division between two bigger readings, and if there are 5 divisions, you will calculate every small division as 0.2 degree Celsius. and the temperature reading of a thermometer starts from 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. Okay. Next is what are the precautions you should observe while reading a clinical thermometer. So when you go to a doctor's clinic to measure your body temperature, he will be using this clinical thermometer. What does he do? He will take it out from a small bottle. In that bottle, you have this antiseptic liquid, because this thermometer is put in the mouth of many other patients who has got some infections. So to disinfect that, it has to be kept in some antiseptic solution. Normally you have to wash it actually. So after the thermometer is taken out, you can see the doctor giving it a jerk. Why? By giving the jerk, he can bring the mercury level down, and then he should see whether it is below 35 degrees C, and then only you should put it under your tongue for measuring your body temperature. See, thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution, in order to remove the infection present there, the germs present in that, because the bulb portion is kept in the under the tongue of many other patients. So normally it is kept dipped in antiseptic solution. Ensure that it should be washed actually. Ensure that before use the mercury level is below 35 degrees C. Read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. Should keep it in front of you to read it properly. Should be able to see the readings properly. Handle the thermometer with care. Ensure that it does not get hit against any hard objects, because it may break. And you should never hold the bulb of the thermometer to note down the reading. You should hold the other end. Don't hold the thermometer by the bulb while reading it. Next, how to use a clinical thermometer. As I told you just now, see, wash the thermometer preferably with an antiseptic solution. Hold it firmly and give it few jerks. The jerks will bring the level of mercury down. Ensure that it falls below 35 degrees C. I told you just now. You should wash the thermometer preferably with an antiseptic solution in order to remove the germs present in that. And then you have to hold it firmly and you have to give it few jerks. Why are you giving jerks? So that the mercury level will fall below 35 degrees Celsius. Now, place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue, and it should be kept under your tongue for 1 minute. After 1 minute, you have to take out the thermometer and note the reading. This is your body temperature. The temperature should always be stated with the unit degrees Celsius. The normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. When it is more than that, you say that you have fever. The thermometers that we use at home to study our body temperature is what is called as your digital thermometer, right? Okay. Next, see, for measuring the temperature of human body, we will go for a clinical thermometer. When you have to measure the temperature of other objects, there are many other thermometers. One such thermometer which is used in the laboratories, where they study the nature of objects, where they conduct experiments, where they do some research works and all. There they use these laboratory thermometers. It can measure the highest and the lowest temperature. The range of laboratory thermometer is from minus 10 degrees C to 110 degrees C. Look at the thermometer image there. It does not have a bulb, you see. Okay. Next, what are the precautions you should follow when you are using a laboratory thermometer? Laboratory thermometer should always be kept upright. Okay, straight. You should never tilt it. And whichever object's temperature you are measuring, the object should surround the thermometer, and the thermometer should never touch the walls of the container in which it is kept. Okay, so the laboratory thermometer should always be kept in upright position, and it should not be tilted. Bulb should be surrounded from all sides by the substance of which the temperature is to be measured. The bulb should not touch the surface of the container. Next, what are the differences between a clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer? Clinical thermometer is used to measure your body temperature. Laboratory thermometer is to measure the temperature of gradient objects, that undergoes a physical or chemical change. So whenever there is a chemical change, the chemical reaction takes place, there will be rise on temperature or fall in temperature. To note down that we are using that thermometer. And clinical thermometer, you can tilt them when you are using, because I said you have to give it a jerk and all. But laboratory thermometer, you can hold it, that clinical thermometer, you can tilt it and when you're reading you can do like that, but laboratory thermometer should always be kept upright, and it should never be tilted. This clinical thermometer has a kink near the bulb. I told you what is the use of that kink. It is that portion which will not allow the mercury level to fall into the bulb. Laboratory thermometer does not have a bulb. And you can write clinical thermometer, the reading starts from 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. Here it is minus 10 to minus 10 degrees C to 110 degree Celsius. Okay. So with this we are ending, coming to an end of today's session. So what have we learned today? We have learned what are the ways of identifying the hot and cold objects. I said you can identify by touching them, by looking at the surface of the vessel in which the object is kept. If it is too cold, you can find the water droplets. If it is too hot, you can see the steam coming out and all. But the best way to measure the degree of hotness or coldness of an object is what is called as your temperature. It is a reliable measure that tells you whether the object is hot or cold. It gives reading in degree Celsius. The device that is used to measure the temperature is what is called as thermometer. There are different kinds of thermometer. We have read about clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer, it is used by the doctors to study your body temperature. The thermometer, we have a clinical thermometer also at home. Some of you must be having it. Normally nowadays we get this digital thermometers. It flashes the reading. Then it has got a scale to give you the temperature measurement of your body temperature. It has a bulb at one end. You should never touch the bulb when you are reading it. You should wash it with an antiseptic solution before and after use. These were the precautions that you have to follow. Laboratory thermometer, it should be ensured that it is kept inside that object whose temperature has to be measured. The object should surround thermometer. Thermometer should not touch the surface of the containers. The reading starts from minus 10 degrees C to 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, this clinical thermometer has a kink. What is the use of that kink? It will not allow the mercury level to fall into the bulb. Okay, in the next session you will be learning about transfer of heat, how heat gets transferred by different ways like conduction, convection and radiation. So please download your textbook from NCERT websites and start reading. Take care. Goodbye. Have a good